Let's do it, for old time's sake. God, I'm old. I have a full-time job. I'm tired all the time. I have bills. It's hard to work on video editing projects nowadays. I just don't have the time like I used to. That's been 10 years since I made that video, huh? I think I can always make room to relive my childhood, you know? Oh, I remember playing Sonic the Hedgehog 1 for the first time at 5 years old. The speed, the music, the levels, the colors, the details. There's no words to how it captivated my imagination. When I beat the first Sonic the Hedgehog, it became the first video game I ever beat and cemented my allegiance to the Sega Genesis. Then, the rest is history. So, we did 25 games last time. Why don't we push it to 100? I think I'd love to do that. That sounds like fun. So, you know what's coming. I'm going to rank my top 100 personal favorite Sega Genesis games that are near and dear to my heart. Unfortunately, with a big list like this, it means that there are 5 rules I'm going to use. The first rule is that it is obviously my personal opinion and experiences. That's a given. For rule number 2, because this is a big list, if I had the same feelings for at least 2 of the games in the same series, I will group them together in one entry to reduce redundancy. So, for example, if I feel the same for Golden Axe 1 and Golden Axe 2, they will be grouped up into one entry instead of 2 separate entries. Rule number 3, I have to like the game for it to be on this list. No filler entries, not a game I find indifferent or one that I dislike. Of course, that gives way to rule number 4, is that to remember personal tastes. I won't like every popular Sega game. I know the comments will come anyway, but what can I do? Finally, rule number 5. I have scoured every corner of the Sega Genesis library I could, including the foreign games. So this top 100 is really close to being my all-time definitive list. This is the final hurrah for me. Let's look at the 10 honorable mentions. I'll mention briefly why they're there, and let's jump right in. Skeleton Crew. Oh, I love this game. It's an isometric run and gun shooter. I definitely recommend this. However, it is a twin stick shooter. So you're wondering, how do you get twin sticks on the Genesis? Well, you use the A and C buttons to turn around, which can lead to some clunky and sensitive controls. So it's here as my first honorable mention. This is pure nostalgia gushing through. I'm not usually a fan of sports games, but this one has held up surprisingly well. I love the slower pace, the ambience, and come on, listen to this music. It doesn't deserve to be this good and get you into the basketball mood like this. Zoom has an awesome concept. You use a character to move around multiple blocks and have to fill in all the parameters to each block to clear them. Kind of a guilty pleasure. However, the thing I don't really admire is the hand that's chasing you all the time. Yeah, the Wall Master from Zelda is here to haunt you. If it was gone, this would have been much higher. Cannon Fodder is an underrated top-down tactical shooter. Pretty much, you use a cursor to give commands to your troops to clear objectives in an area. Really fun strategic and puzzle game, but unfortunately putting in some commands can be tricky due to the limited hardware, so it's not the smoothest game to play at times. This is the Sega Genesis version of Command & Conquer pretty much, because I love and adore RTS games like StarCraft, Warcraft, take your pick. This one became a quick favorite of mine to play. As you might have guessed though, just like the last entry, the hardware limitations hold it back. You can't even select multiple units at a time. Big yikes. These types of red light, green light territory games are always underrated. In this game, you control a ship and have to acquire a certain amount of territory in order to beat the levels. Every time you start slicing, you become more exposed to enemy attacks. So it's a timing and tactical game. Unfortunately, to why I placed it low, cover your ears, this is some really annoying sound effects. Some people say that Sonic 3D Blast is a badly executed isometric game, but I think this one is. While I have a really soft spot for the mascot, the environments, the music, and the Easter egg hunting for red coins is a ton of fun, the isometric view makes it tough to coordinate and dodge attacks. At least in Sonic 3D Blast, you have a checkerboard design on the floor to line yourself up to plan your moves. In this one you do not, so very fun, but very clunky. This one reminds me a lot of Cabal from the original Nintendo. Plus it's really unique, you can shoot and melee into the screen, run and dodge attacks to the side. It's simple and stupid fun. What brought it down is that it is kind of one-dimensional compared to the other games, and the dodging I think could have been tuned up some more to make it more fair. Another nostalgic favorite. I used to rent this a couple of times as a kid, so yes, I am biased. Thank you. It's actually the Dinosaur vehicle segments that are the highlights of this game. The platforming is still fun, plus there's a really unique system where you can purchase items on the pause screen, but a little rough around the edges and hasn't aged well enough. It doesn't really scream, wow, that was amazing, you know? Another rental oldie. Pagemaster is a movie licensed platformer and the music and aesthetic is amazing. What I really love is that the power-ups stack up on top of each other and acts as your health bar. As you take more damage, you lose more power-ups that makes adventuring easier. Incredible design. Unfortunately, Richard, the character you control, has the worst ice physics movement I've ever seen on the system, so I can't let this creep into the top 100. Almost, but barely missed it.